Hey, Evan from Midway Nissan here. This time doing a quick walk around of our 2023 Nissan Pathfinder SL. This being the 2023 model year Pathfinder was completely redesigned for 2022. Much like our other vehicles, does have a new key fob for 2023. Built in, just like our other vehicles, does have remote start, lock, unlock, and then trunk release. And this is the SL trim level. So the SL trim level, much like all the other Pathfinders, does come with the LED daytime running lights, headlights, high beams, which are automatic and automatically dimming at day and nighttime, along with the high beam assist. The vehicle does also come in this SL trim with the LED fog lights. Built into the front bumper, you do have your parking sensors on each side, as well as down below in the lower grille section. You do have a camera up front, in addition to your sensors for your adaptive cruise control, your automatic emergency braking, and at the top of the windshield there, you do have the camera that's going to detect which of the lanes you're in, and if you drift out of them, it will actually actively correct your steering. The vehicle does come in this trim level with the 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels. You can opt for trim levels like the Rock Creek, which do have the all-terrain tires and a different size of wheel. This does have, in conjunction with the front and rear cameras, the side cameras built into the mirror cap, which are recessed. That way it doesn't interrupt the airflow when you're driving along. The vehicle does, of course, have your LED turn signal indicators built into the mirror cap. And all four of the doors do have proximity sensing for the key. So if you push this button on the outside, it is capacitive, it will lock the doors. And then if you come up and grab the door handle, on all four doors, it will unlock or lock. You'll note, much like our other vehicles, it does have rear glass tinted from the factory, along with the roof rails up top. This Pathfinder is Nissan's second biggest SUV that they sell in North America. So you do have, of course, 3 rows of seating. And this vehicle does tow the most in its segment at 6,000 pounds, and you do have your wiring harness built in this trim level from the factory. Backup camera right there, and then this handle, you push the button, or even if you kick your foot underneath, will open up. You can see the 3 rows of seats, and this color on the exterior is the pearl white, the interior being the lighter color, cashmere. They do call it light gray, but it is the same color that the cashmere interiors used to be. The vehicle does have some extra storage down below, and if you lift this panel, you do have all your jack and accessories in the case you needed to switch out a tire. The vehicle does also have your tie-down points, so you have the 4 there, along with one other in that 3rd row, in the case you ever wanted to fold down the seats and put something bigger in the back. And I'll go over more of the interior later. There is lots to go over in there. You do have the button to close the power liftgate, as well as lock all the doors and close the power liftgate. And the vehicle, much like the front, does have your parking sensors on each side and in the very rear of the vehicle to detect how far away you are from anything when reversing. Coming around front, this vehicle does have the VQ35DE engine, in this case producing 184 horsepower, 159 pound-feet of torque. It also is now paired to a 9-speed ZF transmission, the same manufacturer that's made transmissions for a number of years through various German vehicles and high-performance applications. Very, very simple and similar architecture in terms of the engine, which is rock solid. Much like the rest of the vehicle, this Pathfinder is geared more toward on-road performance rather than off-roading, so it's more designed to be a family vehicle than the Pathfinders of years past, although it does have the rugged exterior, which I think looks really good. Coming along to the interior of the Pathfinder, that's where you find most of the interesting features of the vehicle. In conjunction with the tinted rear glass, it does have the rear sunshades, which would provide an added protection for anybody sitting in the back seats from the sun. You do have in this vehicle the lighter colored interior. Nissan does call this the light gray interior, but it does have a nice contrast. You do have most of your touch points in the black leatherette throughout the interior. That way it does keep it nice and clean, along with the flooring and a lot of the plastic components remaining the same black color. The vehicle does, of course, have your power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, but in addition to that, the cup holders is where Nissan kind of went over and above. You have 2 cup holders built into the door here, 2 bottle holders down below. Coming onto the interior here, you also have the 3 rows of seats. This one does have the bench. You can, in the platinum trim level, opt for captain's chairs, where this center section would be removed and replaced with armrests for the rear passengers, as well as a center console with additional cup holders. In order to access the rear, it's really, really simple. Just one button. It'll slide and fold the seats in one motion, and it is spring-loaded. But in the case anybody were sitting in the seat, it would not allow it to slide forward. That way you wouldn't have to worry about any kids pushing each other around. The vehicle, based on the way the seats do slide and fold, it's really easy to put a child seat in there and not have to worry about removing it, as it doesn't actually change the articulation of the seat back in order to slide forward. Coming around to the very rear passengers do also have their own cup holders, heating and cooling vents, as well as coming from the roof here, additional heating and cooling vents, and USB ports, which are both type A on each side. These seats do fold down just about flat with the trunk, so in the case you wanted extra space, you could use it. And then if somebody were sitting back here and then they wanted to push this button, really easy. I'm about 5'9", so you can see here, decent amount of space. I'm not super uncomfortable. Like, I do have headroom and I do have a decent amount of knee room. And like I mentioned, to get in or out, just push the button, slides and folds the seat for me, and they can climb right back out. On the back of the center console here, the rear passengers do have heated outboard seats. They do also have their own temperature control for the third zone back here. The vehicle does come with USB ports, one type C and one type A for the second row of passengers, and a full-size 120 volt power outlet to a maximum of 150 watts. Coming up front in the Pathfinder, even more buttons up here. You do have all your power window switches, door locks, and mirror controls, of course, along with your memory seat functions for drivers 1 and 2, which are pairable to the key fob of the vehicle. You do also, on the interior here, notice as soon as I close the door, it's really, really quiet. So they've added a number of key features that help for noise isolation in the vehicle, which include acoustic glass and a number of sound deadening materials throughout the body panels and the underside of the vehicle to really reduce the noise level. The vehicle with the 9-speed automatic transmission does come equipped with paddle shifters. And I'm just going to put the vehicle to the on position without running it. That way we can go over a number of the features. Vehicle does have automatic headlights with automatic high beams like I mentioned, and your fog light switches are right there. You do also have all your stereo controls, volume up, down, previous, and next, and then all your different buttons and switches to go through the different options in the gauge cluster. This, like many of our other vehicles, is equipped with the safety suite, which again is fully adjustable. So if I just go ahead into settings here, I can go under driver assistance and adjust the steering assist, lane departure, lane assist for lane keeping, and emergency braking front and rear. The vehicle does, of course, have your Nissan Pro Pilot Assist, which will allow the vehicle to maintain distance between you and the vehicle in front and maintain your centering between the lanes on the highway, so long as you keep a light grip on the steering wheel. The vehicle does, of course, have your intermittent wipers, and then again, anytime you change them, it will show you on the screen. That way you don't need to see exactly what's going on with the wiper stock. You can just look at the screen and see what's going on right there. The vehicle does come equipped with the automatic wipers in the Platinum trim level, which this is not. Again, this is the mid-level, the SL. In the screen here, you do have all the same options as many of our other vehicles. So that is a wireless phone charger. You do also have wireless Apple CarPlay. Android Auto would still have to be plugged in with a cable. You do have USB Type-C up front and Type-A. So between that, 6 USB ports in the vehicle, number of cup holders, like 8 on each door in the rear, 2 more on each door up front, 2 on each side for the very rear passengers, and then 2 up front in the center. You do have Nissan's digital shifter, which allows a little bit of extra storage down below. So in the case you wanted to put something quite small, like a small purse or a tablet, you have loads of room to do so. Vehicle does have automatic stop start, and it is one button to disable that system in the case you don't like it. You do have the electronic parking brake, terrain mode selector as well. So you can go through all your different terrain modes depending on the conditions you're driving in. And then on the very, very end, this is the only vehicle of ours that has the built-in tow mode as part of the terrain mode selector. Again, 6,000 pounds is the class-leading towing, which this does. Vehicle does have an inbuilt navigation system, and like I made reference to with those 360 cameras, you can see on all sides of the showroom right now. It's giving me an aerial view, and that is predictive with my steering. So if I go ahead and turn on the vehicle momentarily here, and then I turn the steering wheel, you can see it predicts exactly where I'll be as I'm driving along. The vehicle does, of course, come with the large center console, like all of our other vehicles. You do have your pen holders and business card holders there. And then the panoramic moonroof, which you can operate with these switches here. Vehicle does have the SOS button, so in the case you were to ever be in an emergency, automatically dials the emergency services to your location, and you can push that anytime for roadside assistance as well. Looking over at the passenger side of the interior, you actually do have a very deep cubby here, so if you wanted to put a tablet or a number of cell phones there to prevent them from sliding around, you can. In the glove box here, you have all the owner's manuals, of course, and then from the factory, you do have a little bit of extra wiring depending on the trailer you need to set up for trailer braking. Really awesome that they include that from the factory. And then this interior combination, again with the contrasting between the light gray and the black interior, does actually make a really sharp appearance in the vehicle all the way around. The vehicle, like some of our others, the Frontier included, does have the HomeLink garage door opener built in. They do a good job of hiding it now though, so it is right underneath the mirror there. So you have 3 garage door options, really easy to pair. Just hold your garage door opener next to the button while holding it, and it will then sync the system. You will see it then come on the mirror, so it's not completely hidden. As soon as you push it, you know when it is and is not active. As always, I have included the brochure in the description of the video down below. If you have any questions about the 2023 Pathfinder SL or any of the other trim levels, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm happy to help wherever I can. And you can always ask those down in the comments section. But until the next one, look forward to seeing you. Bye for now.